All right, Max, it's about 6 o'clock. I think everyone's here.
Okay. Let's call the May 17th, 2021 Lower Allen Township Development Authority meeting to order. Added somebody. Okay. Proof of publication of the meeting is available. The meeting is probably the last by Zoom that we're aware of, unless things drastically go downhill. I don't know. Do you want to read the normal thing? For the Zoom meeting, Aaron?
It looks like we actually don't have on any public. Everybody else is part of the board or a consultant or a commissioner. But in case anyone joins later, if you have a question or a comment, please use the chat feature and let me know. Or you can make your comments known at item number 3 for public comment. Please mute yourself during the meeting unless you are asked to speak.
Okay, thank you very much. As Aaron said, number 3, there's no public to comment. Going on to item 4, action item, approve the meeting minutes from April 19th, 2021.
I'll move to approve the minutes of that meeting as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by John, second by Ed. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Ayes have it. Actually, probably before we go on any further, I'd like the new member of the board to introduce himself and give us a Reader's Digest condensed version of your bio background.
Thank you. My name is Mark O'Shea. I am resident of the township since 2010. I am currently a productivity coach and a commercial real estate agent with Keller Williams of Central PA. Prior to that, I was in residential mortgage lending for several years, and prior to that, I was in banking for a couple decades with Commerce Bank, Metro Bank, and Members First. I have a wife and 3 daughters that are, the oldest is in Cedar Cliff. She's a freshman. I got an 11-year-old at Ross Moyne and an 8-year-old at Lower Allen. And they're very excited for the new school. They've been virtual all year, but they're excited for the new school. And I live right off the Gettysburg Road corridor here. So, you know, when I saw a lot of those things going on, that kind of got me excited for this, you know, timing, and, you know, I'm really looking forward to being a part of it.
Right. Well, welcome aboard. And
Welcome.
I live close
Good
to
to have you here, Mark.
school. So it's been interesting. So watching that. So, okay. Well, again, welcome aboard. Much appreciate you volunteering for that. Okay, I hope to meet you in person someday. We'll keep on moving here. Item number 5, action item, approve the builder's risk insurance.
We are required to have builder's risk insurance per our contract with our GC with Wagman. Plus, it's a good practice anyways. This insurance is slightly different than our general liability. I'm going to call it like gestational insurance. The liability insurance is there when there's a building, but right now there's not a building, but there would be materials that would be on site that we would have already paid for by way of paying for a contractor. And so this would give us insurance in case something would happen to some of those materials, or if the building was partially built. So it's kind of kind of a dual purpose there. We have two estimates that you can see. One of them was lower. They were sent out in your packet. Did you have questions about either of them?
This Max, I do have a question. Now the general contractors have their own builder's insurance also, in addition to what we're providing, or was that passed on to the authority?
The builder's risk is our insurance because we're going to be the owner of the project, but they have provide us certificates of insurance that they would have for their general liability and for workers' comp, things like that.
Okay, well, with the current environment of rising material costs, it's probably a good idea to have everything locked down and insured for sure.
So we have one from, I think it's Liberty, and it is in the amount of $7,329. And then there was another quote from Selective, and that was for 6,000 something.
It was 6169.
Thank you, John.
And Max, when you're done commenting, I have some comments.
Yep, go ahead, John.
Okay, the Liberty Mutual was 7329. I mean, these are technical things. I don't know what is typical, and Mr. Morgan's not on the call. I don't know if Tom had a chance to look at it, can coach us on it, but I noticed that both were rather inclusive and one's cheaper. Regarding the Selective quote, it lists the project location as 2233 Gettysburg. So if that's the one we go with, we have to qualify our approval with a change and, assume that they know it's a construction site at another location. They just put our business address in. The job site location on Liberty, and I know I'm being picky, but it's not along US 11, but we're good with that. But the title is the title of the project is Capital City Commons. Again, if we accept that one, we might want to qualify and tell them to change the name of the project. Other than that, I obviously the cheapest price isn't always the best value, but I'm not familiar with these things. I tried to scan through and compare apples to oranges or apples to apples. I don't know if anyone noticed any glaring differences or has any ability to steer us in one direction or another.
Both of these were collected through a broker, an insurance broker, and provided to us, so that's how they came about. Truthfully, they probably need to be updated because we were searching this around for before we had the exact quote from the contractor. So it'll probably be updated anyways, but I would rather have permission to move ahead so that way we have the insurance and it's not put on our contractor, and then we can amend it.
Yeah, John, to your point earlier, I did not review these two, but I did just renew for a client in Carlisle on a 46-acre development parcel, the old Maslin plant site. We just renewed ours, and it was about $7,300 if I recall correctly. So it's in the ballpark.
Thank you, Tom. So based on what Tom said, I guess our site is much smaller, but maybe the risk factors are similar.
They asked questions about how, hot work, so what kind of welding and things will be done on site, how far away the closest fire station was. They asked a lot of things like that. Do you have a dumpster on site?
So,
Aaron, we got both of these bids from a single broker.
Yes.
And we gave them the same information. So each one of these parties has received the same information from us.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Tom,
Well,
based on your prior experience, do either one of these insurance companies resonate with you as being more reliable or easier to deal with if there's a claim, anything like that?
The only one I've dealt with before, Sal, is Liberty. I'm not sure I've dealt with the other one that Aaron mentioned.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a real basic industry standard insurance policy. There's nothing really too fancy about it. But you really do need to have it, especially per Max's comment with the material costs going through the roof. There's more job site theft these days.
This is Max. I'm familiar with both of them, but really, I can't recall the last time we had any claims for builder's risk. Usually it's somebody will steal a piece of equipment or, you know, and that doesn't fall under the building risk. But sometimes lately I've heard other projects that they've stolen all the metal off the copper and the electricians have a lot more problems with stealing the conduit and the wire, is what I've heard in the last couple of years. So I think it's a good idea. It's almost a commodity. If they're giving us the same, same coverage, it's, pretty much the same, but Selective has been around for at least 40 years. So.
Well, Max, you just used the word that I was thinking, which is commodity. And if it is a commodity, then, price is really a big directional for me.
That's where I'm headed to. Now that I've had some explanation.
So,
Would you like a
okay,
motion?
well, I think we need to move. I think we need to move forward today or tonight. So, I would entertain a motion, with the condition that any of those items that John brought up, make sure it's the right job site, and we don't want to not be insured because of a technicality there and things like that. But I think we should make a motion this evening to allow Aaron to negotiate and enter into a contract for the insurance.
Chairman, I would make the motion that we go with the Selective insurance proposal. And I would add a note that I used to insure my firm through Selective. And as I recall, we didn't have any claims, but we didn't have any problems with them either.
And Ed,
Okay.
could you make that motion subject to them correcting the job site location?
Yes.
And I will second.
Motion by Ed, second by John. Any further discussion?
The amount was 6169.
6169. Okay. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on to the next action issue. Approve change order number 4 to KD3 contract for construction administration services. Aaron, you want to fill us in on that? I've read it, but.
Okay, so our contract with KD3 was they're our architect for the building, unit 3. We had in there a clause for construction administration services. This is largely to answer questions that contractors might have while the building is getting built. It also present to them materials to make sure the material samples are in line with what our architect envisioned would be used for the building. This was the amount they had in their contract, but I did have a conversation with them to see, because we have the same situation with DL and they're our engineer, and they're providing the service to us for time and materials not to exceed $5,000. And KD3 said they would be amenable to that if that's the direction we wanted to go. So I wanted to bring that to the board. We can either approve this one or we can have them amend it.
Anyone have any questions?
Aaron, was there a detailed explanation of why our contract with Eastern, and I know Mr. Morgan's not on the call, but is there any explanation of, was it something that they underestimated, or it was just some things that came up that weren't envisioned?
So this has to do with the administration for the architect side, not necessarily for this is construction administration, not construction management. So we would still have an architect that would be available to ask questions, that contractors would be able to ask questions to regarding the design, their intent of the design. So it's kind of their interpretation that they're getting to make sure that they're following it correctly. We had a coordination meeting and there was a lot of discussion about the different materials that'll be used on the building and getting the approval for those materials from the architect, which is something I think that Eastern doesn't necessarily do since they didn't design the building. They're there to kind of oversee the process.
If I can elaborate just a little bit, John, it would be really a review and approval of material submittals that the architect called for in his design, just to make sure that they comply with what his design has. And you always kind of want to keep your liability consistent with the same group for those types of things.
Understood. I just didn't get the nuance of design check versus execution of the
Right.
design.
Yeah, and this Max, I think it's probably a good idea because we're seeing on a lot of our projects right now, material substitutions because they can't get the material that was specified, and you need somebody to make that decision that it's close to an equal substitution. So, but anybody else have any comment on that? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve this change order number 4?
I'll make that motion. Max, to
Okay,
approve as submitted.
okay, motion by Sal,
I'll
Sal,
second.
Sal, that's in the amount of $7,000, correct?
Correct.
Okay. John,
Okay.
go ahead.
Ed, did you want to second it then?
I'll second it.
okay. Motion by Sal, second by Ed. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, ayes have it. Next item. Are there any other items to be brought forth before we enter into executive session?
Sure, I was gonna just do the general update on the project. So they have started the construction of the sewer. You can probably see it down there at the corner of Michael's. That's where it starts and it's gonna go back up to our site. Unfortunately, though maybe perhaps not surprising, we did hit rock. Our contract allowed for 30 yards of rock. And after that, it went to the unit price. We're at already about 100 yards of rock and the unit price is $271 per yard. So it has the ability to jump up rather quickly. The way it'll work is, since that was already in the contract and it's approved, it will default to that. And then when they get done with the trench, they will then send us a change order with the additional amount. So there's that as the update. They have delivered their job trailers to the site. There's 2. There's an owner's trailer. Oh, so we have a trailer on site, and then where we can have job coordination meetings. And then there is a trailer for the contractor. We can also use the trailers for storage of some of the materials. I mean, obviously not the large materials, but some of the materials, plans, things like that will be locked up in the job trailers at night. It was also one of the questions that was asked of us from the builder's risk insurance. Other than that, those are the big items, that have happened so far. There's Wi-Fi on the site at the trailer. And the trailers are run with, generators, and that will be, inspected by our third-party inspector. Other than that, we have a bill from the sewer authority so that we can get going. So I will send that to Rick so we can get a check out. That's for a little over $2,000. I didn't miss that chance, and the sewer authority's on site each day for inspection as well.
Aaron, it's not that I don't trust the contractor, but is someone measuring the amount of rock that's being removed?
Yes.
Yes, Eastern has someone on site, and then also we have ECS that they're testing the materials and they're also verifying. So we have two different groups that are paying attention.
Okay, thank you.
But of course, we have to pay for ECS to be on site too. So we're trying to have them not just sit there and watch us drill, and trying to make use of them, wise use of them as well. So we have an invoice from them too. It's gonna be fun.
All right. Anybody else have anything to bring up?
Max, this is Dean Valone. I was wondering if before you go into executive session, if I could just poke in.
You most certainly may.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd just like to say hello to everybody. Mark O'Shea, it's very nice to meet you. I hope you find yourself very comfortable here and at home on this board. I'm sure you'll be in good company. And I'd just like to thank everybody on the Development Authority and those who participate in these meetings, take your personal time, volunteer your time. I know the volunteer service myself, and your work is so appreciated. And I know Ed's on this authority. Of course, John, is always, in the offices. But if there's ever anything I can do to help, everybody individually, just feel free. My phone's always available. Call anytime. And I just wish everybody the best of luck and appreciate the ongoing transparency with this project over at the Bonton site. I think people, including myself, are getting anxious, but I know our patience will pay off, and this is going to be a fantastic opportunity for Lower Allen Township to add some commerce and add some neat development to the township with regard to business. So thanks again, everybody. Enjoy your executive session. Hope you can get a lot done, and look forward to talking to you guys later. Take care.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dean.
Thanks, Dean.
See you.
Okay, we're going to enter into executive session at 6:23 p.m. at 7:20 p.m.
Was that a pun? Resume?
Yes, bad one. Sorry.
All right, we're recording again.
Recording again. Okay. This is just to announce that we came out of a executive session. The topic was for real estate matters. And we're resuming the regularly scheduled meeting. And is there any action items that we want to entertain?
Mr. Chairman, I'm prepared to make the motion, or I'm making a motion to execute a letter of intent for a tenant space in Unit 3 with a tenant, Good Feet.
Second.
Motion by John, second by Ed. Any further discussion? Was it Happy Feet instead of Good Feet?
No.
or-
Good
No,
feet.
it's Good Feet?
No, you
Okay.
get Happy Feet when you skedaddle. Good Feet.
When you
is
get out
the
of there,
tenant.
okay. All right.
Did we need the company? Is it RRI LLC?
No, that's for the next one.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion that was made by John and seconded by Ed? Hearing
Aye.
none? Aye. I'm sorry. All those in favor say aye. Sorry about that.
Aye again.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Ayes have, opposed? Okay. I didn't hear one or two people, but, okay, the ayes have it then. Next item, John?
I will make a motion to execute a lease for a tenant space in Unit 3 at Lower Island Commons with RRI Enterprises LLC, doing business as Sport Clips.
We have a motion by John. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Sal. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving right along. John?
I'll make a motion to approve a real estate purchase and sale agreement between the authority and a to be determined LLC developed by the Carlino Group, the other entity, in the amount of $2 million, continued upon approval by our council and staff.
And
Okay,
I
we
will
have a
second.
motion by John, second by Sal. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Is there any further business to be done this evening?
We think we're getting closer to an announcement, especially grocer. Once the permits are pulled, we've heard different things. Larry, do you have a further update on them with the what the grocer's saying?
Yeah, so their head of construction indicated that they would, in best case scenario, love to open before the end of the year. And in order to do that, they would have to dovetail their work with the contractors doing the vertical construction. If they think there's a chance that they can get that done, they would submit their plans almost immediately to be able to get them approved. If they look at the schedule that we are going to be providing them for the construction, and they don't think that they can get it open before the end of the year, they will probably wait a while to submit those building plans because as we know, they have a blackout period at some point as well. So hopefully the construction schedule that we provide to them gives them the hope that they are able to get this store open before the end of the year. And then those permit applications will be submitted, and then we're at that point, we're allowed to announce.
Good.
Our
Thanks for
biggest
that
fear
update.
here is supply chain issues.
Yeah.
The good news with that is the steel has already been ordered, and Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, it's scheduled to be on site in early to mid-July, which is faster than we anticipated originally.
So that's with the building. I was talking to somebody who their company sells refrigeration units to grocery stores. And he said because so much of their product is backlogged that they can't deliver to the grocery stores. Their display cases that are refrigerated display cases and that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens.
Well, hopefully that won't be a delay, but you never know.
If it is, we hope they don't know about it till after they pull their permits.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, Aaron.
Aaron, do you have anything else for the good of the order?
I had sent to the Development Authority an invitation if you wanted to attend for the Gettysburg Road corridor. We're doing a study on this corridor because there's quite a few different zoning uses. Over the years, it's had a lot of changes in transportation. There was a widening from PennDOT, and then when the new interchange came in, that road isn't really traveled as much. So now we have almost like extra space on that road. The Ped Bike Committee was looking at that for adding a bicycle lane possibly. So we were trying to get a feel for what businesses are there that aren't there that should be there. What kind of pedestrian safety issues are there? What kind of transportation issues are there? Just kind of a whole, what could be there kind of approach. And there's a workshop for that on the 25th of May and the 26th of May. It'll be a hybrid event, so you can tune in for, I think there's like 5 different sessions. So tune into one all, that'd be great. And I do believe I also sent out the survey to this group. So if you haven't had a chance to respond to the survey, we'd love to have your input. I know you probably haven't been to this building in a while because we've been closed, but at one point you used to travel this corridor quite a bit. So you are probably familiar with what kind of issues are on the road. Other than that, our next meeting is the 21st of June. The longest day of the year, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Hopefully not the longest night.
Let's hope not, yeah.
So, thank you for the update. I can't think of anything else. Oh, do you need me to sign anything?
Yes, I'll have documents for you to sign. I think at this point, everyone's okay with electronic signatures, so I'll send them over to you and you can scan them back.
Okay, will do. All right, then I think it's time for John to make his last motion tonight.
I'll gladly defer to the new guy, but he doesn't know what's going on here. I always, again, end up making the motion to adjourn, so I will do so tonight and hopefully pass the torch.
And I will second John's motion.
Okay, motion by John, second by Sal. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right. Thank you very much. Very productive
Aye.
Bye,
meeting.
everybody.
Good night,
Now,
everybody.
when you get back in town, oh, there you are. You're moving on the screen. When you get back in town, we'll have checks and John, you too. So.
I can probably do them either tomorrow or Wednesday.
Okay,
Okay.
Awesome.
sounds good. Hey,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
everybody.
bye.
Good
And
night.
welcome
Bye.
aboard.
Thank
Okay,
you,
Mark.
everybody.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Mary Ellen.